I think that as a historian, I'm in the business of telling stories, but stories that connect the past with the present in order to make sense of both of them. And so when I teach US history, I actually begin at like 18,000 BC, with the first peoplings of North America. This then centers narratives around the indigenous people to begin with. And from there then, we tell stories of the development of institutions in the United States, the development of cultures, that then give birth to the modern United States. We think of the United States as this kind of westward expansion that begins in the colonies and then moves out to the west and settlement and manifest destinies and the gold rushes and the peopling of North America, right? But in many ways, that ignores the influence of French colonialism on places like New Orleans, of Spanish colonialism, California, New Mexico, right? It ignores the role of Russian colonialism in places like Northern California. If we start the story with the 13 colonies, you create a kind of built-in narrative that reaffirms its Anglo heritage. And I think that is only part of the larger story of the United States. If we're going to really understand the diversity of the United States, we need to understand how it came from a variety of places. History is one of the great pursuits, I think, of humanity. History is a 4-year education in critical thinking. Historical arguments are the most important arguments that we have. If you pick up the newspaper every day, turn on the television every day, talk to your aunts and your uncles and your mother, they're constantly making historical claims. And I think spending time in university to study history prepares you to be an active citizen in the world. It also, in so many ways, as a major and as a discipline, prepares you for the job market as well. How to communicate clearly, how to present evidence in a way that is persuasive, right? These are skills that whether you go into banking, whether or not you go into finance, if you go into the public sector, if you go into the private sector, are things that every employer is going to want. It's an incredibly versatile major as well. You can study anything you really want to within the paradigm of history. However, history encompasses everything, right? History, I think, opens you up to a whole life of learning about the past. And if you are fascinated by history, if you're fascinated by storytelling, if you're fascinated by the past, then spending 4 years to immerse yourself in that is not a waste of your time. It, in fact, is the whole purpose of a liberal arts education. It will free your mind. It will give you the skills you need in order to be effective in whatever you do after university.